Hey, fourth graders. Today we're going to be talking about run on or run together sentences. The book calls it a run together sentence. It's just a sentence that continues to run on, so it's kind of the same difference in a way. And we're going to talk about how to take those sentences and make them better sentences. Okay? So, a run together sentence is a poorly written sentence containing too many ideas joined by and or and so or and then. Such words should not be in a sentence or in a well written sentence. Let's look at a few steps in the blue box at the top. Step one, it says to leave out any and so's or and then. So when you're having a conversation, a lot of times we talk about things that we've done or the events of the day, and we say, and then, and then, and then. And so those and thens make a very long sentence. We should pause and take the and thens out and just start a new sentence. And that's what we're going to practice today. We do the same thing with and so. So step two says add capital letters and end marks to make new sentences. So when you take those and thens or and so's out, you want to put the proper punctuation marks where they belong. And anytime you have a sentence following a period, it should also begin with a capital letter because it is a new sentence. Remember the rules for a sentence. It always begins with a capital letter and it ends with a punctuation mark. So you can see the run-on sentence in the example there in the blue box. It said, the young boy wanted to give something to Jesus, and so he offered him his lunch. So if we take the and so out of that equation, we could say the young boy wanted to give something to Jesus. He offered him his lunch. Well, we took and so out, but there's still two sentences. So we need to put proper capitalization and punctuation where it belongs to make a proper two-sentence break. So if you look at step two, it says, the young boy wanted to give something to Jesus, period. Then the he that follows is capitalized because it's the next first word of that following sentence. He offered him his lunch. So let's look at the next example that we have for think. You have three sentences that we're going to do exercises with. And I'll show you the think on page 10 as well as page 11 to do the example for you. And then you can follow along with the next three sentences. So think says to rewrite the following run together sentences using the two steps that we just learned about. One, leave out any and so's and and then. And secondly, add capital letters and end marks to the new sentence. So then it says draw a line through the and so and then and rewrite the sentence on the lines that are underneath. Okay, so for example, the first one says the Bible tells us not to lie, and so we should always tell the truth. So what we want to do is we want to draw a line through and so because it does not belong there. We want to take and so out. But in the following lines, it allows you space to write the two sentences as it ought to be written. So we would say, the Bible tells us not to lie, period. Okay? So this and so is taken out, but this needs a period. We have to insert a period there, which means this next word for the next sentence must be capitalized. So now we start our next sentence with a capital letter. We should always tell the truth. Okay, period. Okay, so the Bible tells us not to lie, period. Capital W on we should always tell the truth. Okay, now switching over to page 11 because this is what you're going to do. You'll finish numbers 2, 3, and 4 on page 10. And then when you switch over to page 11, you're going to use those same sentences in numbers 2, 3, and 4 to complete numbers 2, 3, and 4 on page 11, making the connection. So for page 11, we're going to add something to make a more well-written sentence. If we want to take out the and so, but kind of still have one good sentence. So another way to correct a run-on or run-together sentence is if it has related ideas. Step 1, You're going to add either after, because, since, when, or while. These are beginning words or starter words that could start a new sentence. And then you'll put a comma instead of the and so. Instead of adding a period and making two sentences, we'll take the and so out and we'll put a comma in its place if we begin the sentence with either after, because, since, when, or while. So if you notice, sentence 1 says to start that sentence using the word since. So we'll say since, I'm going to take the parentheses off, since the Bible tells us not to lie, instead of putting this period here, we take the and so out still, but we put a comma in the place because we added the word since. Only if we add a beginning word do we use a comma in its place, okay? If we just make two sentences, we will take it out at a period and then capitalize. But if we take it out, add a beginning word, then we use comma, okay? All right, so since the Bible tells us not to lie, comma, lowercase w, we should always tell the truth, right? Always tell the truth. And period. Okay? So these are two ways. This is the first way. You make two sentences, take out the and so, put a period, and capitalize. The second way is to add a beginning word, replace the and so with a comma. Okay? All right, so you will do that on page 11 with numbers 2, 3, and 4. Remember to use the sentences from page 10 to complete those, okay? All right, so for page 12, you're basically going to read the sentences that are there, and you'll let me know if it's a run together, RT is what they call it, run together. I also call it run on, RO. But either way, if it's a run together sentence, or if it's a good sentence. If it's a good sentence, just write the word good in the blank. If it's not a good sentence, put RT because it's a run together sentence. For think B, you will read the little paragraph there, and everywhere there's an and so, you'll take it out, and you'll put what goes there. If there's a beginning word, then you would use the comma. If there's no beginning word, you will take out the and so and insert a period and capitalize. Put your proofreader's marks to do that if you need to. And that is your assignment for today. If you need anything, have any questions, let me know. Thank you guys.